chapter, starting chapter 6 today. But before that, I would like to just recap chapter 5. And what did we learn? That we have to be like a lotus leaf, right? And we have to do our duty, be detached from the results and control the senses. We have to follow the 4 pillars of dharma. If we break it, it will be a chaos. Then there are 3 doers: body, soul, and super soul. And what is the purpose of the body? Why do we get a new body? What do we get along with the body? How do I get a body? And the nature of body. Then we must have equal vision. Then we have to understand what is the effect and implications on the self and in seeing others. Little 1-2 shlokas of Ashtanga Yoga was there. In detail, today we are going to learn about the yoga. And then there was a peace formula. We have to know God, then we will know peace. Then understand God as He wants us to understand. And also that we must do everything for the Lord's pleasure. He is the proprietor of all planets and demigods, and He is the well-wisher of everyone. He is our friend. So we have to understand that in the previous chapter. So today we are going to do Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6. So in this chapter, what happens? Lord is explaining the process of 8-fold yoga system. We were all talking about yoga, right? So today he is going to talk about the yoga system, 8-fold. But this is very difficult for people in general in this Kali Yuga actually. Satyuga, yeah, it was possible. But Kali Yuga people, it's not possible as such. Very difficult at least. So it's not impossible, but it's difficult. Although 8-fold yoga system, it is recommended in this chapter, Lord is emphasizing that the process of karma yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is far better. That's what he recommends. Then he will conclude the chapter. Lord Krishna will conclude the chapter by declaring that yogi who is trying to, who strives to unite with God, he is much, much superior than a tapasvi, ascetic, and, karmi, ritualistic performance. Yogi is much better. That's what he concludes. And highest among all the yogis is one who is engaging in bhakti, devotional service, in loving devotional service of Lord. So we will talk about mind, enemy or friend, 6.1 to 6.9, Ashtanga Yoga, destination of an unsuccessful yogi and the topmost yogi. Let's see. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaiva atmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. Is there anyone who can read? You can raise your hand and read, please. Anybody wants to read the translation? Okay. For him who has conquered. Okay, please read. Please read, Pramila Mataji. Please read. You can unmute yourself.
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for the one who failed to do so, his mind will be remain the greatest enemy. Is a mind or an enemy?
Yeah. So we all, thank you so much, Mataji. We all know, right, that people who had everything good and favorable happening to them, they were still very sad. Everything good is happening in your life, still you are sad and miserable. Why? Because it's their own mind that is tormenting them non-stop through depression, hatred, tension, anxiety, stress, everything is happening. Like for example, say somebody accidentally throws a stone at you, right? It may hurt for a few days or a few minutes, sorry, not days, but small stone. So it may hurt for a few minutes. And by next day, you probably would have even forgotten about it. But if someone says something very unpleasant to you, very bad or something unpleasant to you, it may continue in your mind like a broken tape recorder for years together. So-and-so said to me, so-and-so day and so-and-so time. You will never forget, right? So Prahlad Maharaj told his father, he said, Hiranyakashyap, his father, that you don't have any enemy outside of you, it is there inside your mind. That is your mind. But the same mind has the potential of becoming a friend, best friend also. But how? We have to bring it under the control of the intellect. We have to bring it under control. And how can we do that? Through spiritual practice, through chanting. Keep doing something spiritual, devotional service. It is going to help. So what is the takeaway from this shloka? It is that if we chant the holy name of Krishna 24/7, 24 hours a day, I mean, in your mind, you can continuously be with Krishna. You may do your daily duties, but you can still be in with Krishna throughout. It is a solution of all our problems. So mind can become our friend or an enemy. So when Haridas Thakur was brutally beaten in 22 marketplaces, he was praying to Lord Krishna that, to forgive those who were beating him. Haridas Thakur used to chant. Day before yesterday, I told you the story, I think yesterday only, right? That he used, prostitute came and he was, so that way, for the one who has conquered the mind, mind is the best of friends, right? So chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is the direct process. It will cure the mind. So let's take this process and be happy. So we come to Ashtanga Yoga. So what is yoga, Ashtanga Yoga? People say, is this yoga? Look at the picture, he's putting his head down inside the mud. How can you call this true yogis, true sannyasis? There's so much confusion. Some Swamiji is a phalahari, he eats only fruits and nuts. Some are Babaji, dudahari, they drink only milk. Some are pavanahari, they breathe only air. So people think they're God realized. Some are Naga Baba, and they who don't wear clothes. And Lord Krishna dismisses all these concepts. He says these kind of asceticism is not, it's not going to make somebody a sannyasi. Those who can renounce the fruits of their action by offering it to God, they are true renunciants or yogas. Look at this yoga, bear yoga. Looking, put a sheep or goat on her back. Is this yoga? Now we have, this is all becoming a foreign culture, nowadays Western culture. It has become a buzzword in Western studios. It's there in every town, every place. But actually, what is yoga? Yoga is connecting to God. Yog, it can united, union. Yog means union. It refers to union of our consciousness to the divine consciousness. Like karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga, right? But what is it not? It's not a breathing exercise. It's not a physical exercise. It's not going to Himalayas and sitting there. It's not a better facility for sense enjoyment, right? So we have, when you're doing a yoga, you have both physical difficulties and mental difficulties. Very lot of difficulties, right? What do you think might happen? It's difficult, right? Physically, it's difficult. Mentally also, it's difficult. So let's see that. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayanna chalam stiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam dishashchanavalokayan prashantatma vigatabhi achari vrate stitaha manas sanyamya matchittaha yukta asita matparaha. Yes, Pramila Mataji.
One should
Can't hear, it's breaking, Mataji.
one's body, neck, and head in a straight. Hold one's body, neck.
It's breaking, Mataji. Your
Okay.
voice is breaking.
One's shoulders, one's hand, one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line, and stare steadily at the point of the nose. Thus, with an assignment subsided mind, devoid of fear, completely free of sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart, within the heart, and make me the ultimate goal of the life.
See.
Physical difficulty.
Thank you so much, Mataji. See, physical difficulties, you can see what it is. You have to sit in a straight line, stare at the tip of your nose. You cannot move the mind has to be subdued, completely out of this sex life. You should be a celibate. So yoga process is practiced in order to discover and see the localized form of Vishnu. That is a Paramatma root, right? Not for any other purpose. So one who has no program to realize this Paramatma or Vishnu Murti is I don't know why he's engaged in this mock yoga practice. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. We know that. And Paramatma is situated in our heart. Everybody knows that. To realize that Paramatma within the heart, what do we have to do? We have to go through this physical process. We have to abstain from sex life. We have to leave our home. We have to live in a secluded life. We cannot enjoy sex life daily at home and elsewhere attend a yoga class and say, oh, I'm going to become a yogi. No, you cannot do that. You have to practice, control your mind, sit straight. The postures have to be correct. You have to avoid all kinds of sense gratification. Now, I want all the material pleasure, but I want to do meditation. That's not possible. You have to have a lot of discipline is needed. So then only Krishna consciousness, will cannot happen then. But ultimate goal of yoga practice is to attain the Lord, which is, he is the best of the yogis then. Yato yato nishchalati manaschanchalamastheram tatastato niyam yaitat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Yes.
From whenever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of self. Ashtanga
Wherever-
yoga practice mental.
Yeah, mentally also see, physically, you have to sit straight, neck straight, tip of the nose. You have to be totally in discipline, no sex life, totally out of sense gratification, all that physical thing you have to do. Now, mentally, mind is wandering. You have to bring it back and make it completely under your control. Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport, he says, what is the nature of the mind? It's flickering. It's unsteady. It will never remain steady, right? And you cannot control it. It's very, very difficult. But a self-realized yogi, he has to control his mind. Mind should not control him if you want to be a yogi. So one who can control the mind and the senses is definitely a Goswami. Goswami means master of senses, right? And Godasa means who is servant of the senses. So serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That's the mental problem, that mind runs away. Physically, you have to sit straight. Mentally, you will be having, you have to have unagitated mind if you want to practice yoga. No material desires should be there. Complete celibacy, no sex life. Lamp in a windless place. If there is no wind, lamp is straight, right? Otherwise, if there is wind, the lamp starts flickering. So mind also starts flickering. Then that will be a very difficult stage. You cannot attain anything. So Ashtanga yoga practice, it's the transformation of self, right? And it will benefit our lives as such. And it's not like, taking a rubber mat, putting it down for 60 minutes, doing some yoga exercises and saying, oh, I'm a yogi. No, that's not Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is yama, external discipline, niyama, internal discipline, right? And asana, posture, pranayama, breath control, pratyahara, withdrawal of senses, dharana, concentration, dhyana, meditative absorption, and samadhi. Ashtang. Ashtang means 8. Asht means 8. Anga means limbed. And of course, yoga is connection to God. So 8 limbed connection means you have to completely take all this and connect to God. So we can see this. Yamas is external, niyama internal, asana is the how you sit. External discipline is what? You be clean. Internally also you have to clean yourself. Then you have to sit in posture. You have to breathe, control, look at your breathing. Then trying to withdraw your senses. The senses will be running around here and there. Oh, nice smell, everything. No, you cannot. Bring it back. Then concentrate. Fix your mind over here or on the tip of the nose. And then you have to go into that meditative absorption. And then that last stage is called samadhi. That's difficult. So anybody would like to read all the asanas quickly?
Yama.
Yes.
You should live alone in the scheduled place and should always careful control of his mind. Niyama. Temperature in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. Asana. Sorry, one second.
And I'll read it. It's okay, Mataji. It's okay. You can take care of your child. Asana. Lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin. Seat should neither be too high nor too low, and it should be situated in a sacred place. One should hold one's body, neck, head erect in a straight line and stare at it at the tip of your nose. With unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me. When Prabhuji was asking me yesterday, why meditation we cannot do? We can do, but you can see how many we have to do. Yama is live alone in a secluded place, control your mind. Niyama means you have to have proper habits of eating, sleeping, working, recreation. Asana, you can see how much you have to sit. Pranayama, you have to practice the movement of outgoing breath and incoming breath, right? That is also very difficult. And at last you have to go into the trance. Then pratyahara, you have to cessation of material existence, means withdrawal of senses. The eyes will go here, the ears are going towards that music or the neighbors talking, the smell, it will go into the kitchen. You have to bring it back. Dharana, it discipline mental activities, and you have to situate in that transcendence. You cannot let your senses go here haywire. Dhyana, like a lamp in a windless place, it does not waver, right? If there is no wind, the mind has to be controlled similarly, and it has to be steady in the meditation continuously, but our mind doesn't stay steady. Samadhi, one is never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty, which is a highest state. Only great yogis can get that. This indeed is actual freedom from all the material contact. Are you willing to give this yoga system a try? You can try, no issues. Well, Arjuna was there. Arjuna was doing his focus. He was trying to do it. And but persons who perform karma yoga like Arjuna, they do all the activities in humble spirit, humble service to God. They don't have any desire whatsoever of rewards or anything. Like, even though they may be a grihastha, Arjuna was a grihastha. He was living with the family. They are true yogis and they are real renunciates. So multitasking is actually reducing our attention. Actually, we are trying to do this also, that also, this also, we will try this also, that also. It's actually reducing our attention span. Success will come from focus, not by dividing your focus. So we are spamming our mind too much these days. So we should focus completely, like how you can see Arjuna. चंचलम हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवत्दृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्. Yes, Pranjal, please say. Hare Krishna.
For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind.
Yeah. You can look at the picture. What is mind? Mind is like a mad monkey bitten by a scorpion. Imagine the monkey is bitten by a scorpion. How will the monkey do? Jump around like anything, right? That is how our mind is. Every moment, while you're even sitting in this class right now listening, half your mind must have gone elsewhere and you must be laughing at your own self. Oh my God, yes, Mataji is right. My mind has gone elsewhere also. Somebody's mind has gone into kitchen, somebody's mind has gone into the office, somebody's mind has gone into the uni, somebody's mind has gone to some friend's place. It has gone all over except here. 1% of mind might be over here. So Arjuna is speaking on all our behalf. He says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. My mind is very chanchal. It is very troublesome and very restless, Krishna. So it keeps flitting around in different directions from subject to subject. And it is turbulent. So what to do? It is because it has so much of hatred, anger, lust, envy, lot of tension we have, anxiety we have, lot of attachment we have. It is very strong. Pramathi balvat dhrudham, very strong also. So tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasu dushkaram. He says it's very strong because it overpowers our intellect also. That's strong. The mind is so strong. Very stubborn also. Mind is very stubborn, obstinate, he says. And he says that it catches, a harmful thought, a small thought, somebody might have said something. It remains in our mind. It refuses to let go. You will say, get away that thought. No, it will keep on. Why did she have to say that? Why did he has to say that? Why did this happen? Or why did that happen? Why did my boss say like that? Why did this happen to me only? And it continues like a broken tape recorder. It will keep on going in your head. So Arjuna declares, he said, mind is even more difficult to control than the wind. I can probably, control wind. but I cannot control my mind, says Arjuna. That's a powerful analogy, that controlling the mighty wind in the sky. This is used here as, very appropriate, right? One cannot capture the, blowing wind as such, but and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. So easiest way to control the mind is what? As suggested by Lord Chaitanya, chant. What do we have to chant? Mahamantra. What is that Mahamantra? Hare Krishna. And that will help us to bring in all humility. It will give us a lot of humility also, and then start helping us to control our mind. King Amrish was such an example. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. He spoke only about the pastimes of the Lord. He smelled only the flowers that had to be offered to the Lord. He offered tulsi to the Lord. He would use his legs by walking to the temple. He engaged his hands in cleaning the temple. He engaged his tongue in tasting the prasadam, and also, of course, chanting, and his ears for hearing about the pastimes of the Lord. In this way, he was engaging all his senses in Krishna consciousness. If we engage all our senses in Krishna consciousness, what will happen? Automatically, the mind will be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. Then what will remain over there? Nothing to worry about, right? No other engagement. Nothing will agitate our mind. Everywhere we are having Krishna, 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 reading Krishna, writing Krishna, hearing Krishna, thinking Krishna. So the mind will not go here and there. Asamyatatmana yogo dushprapaiti me matihi vashyatmana tu yatata shakyo vaptumupayatah.
For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work, but he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grishyate.
Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment.
See, Lord Krishna is saying Mahabaho, which means mighty armed one. Oh Arjuna, you are so powerful. You have defeated so many enemies. You are so brave. Can you not defeat your mind? So Lord Krishna is not denying the problem. He is not saying no, there is no problem. He is not saying that Arjun, what nonsense are you speaking? Mind can be controlled very easily. No. He is not saying that way. He is agreeing with Arjuna's statement that mind is definitely difficult to control. But there are so many things that are difficult to achieve in this world. Aren't we achieving it? There are so many interviews are so difficult. Jobs to get in the highest corporate world is very difficult. To get university first grade is very difficult. Yet we are not giving up, right? We remain undaunted and we move forward, right? For example, like sailors, they know sea is dangerous, and there is a possibility that if they go there, terrible storms can exist once they are there. That does not mean that they're sitting ashore and they're saying, okay, I'm not going to go because there may be a storm one day. No. So Krishna is assuring Arjuna that mind can be controlled, but how? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. You have to do abhyas. You have to do practice. Practice what? How? By vairagya, renunciation, and abhyas, practice. So you have to practice the renunciation and detachment. Vairagya means detachment. Just leave, detach yourself. So when you see the mind is running towards the object of attachment, right now you all are sitting, right? Just look at your mind and see whether it is running somewhere, which way it is running. Just try and see. So what you will do? We need to eradicate that attachment, that unnecessary thought or that wanderings of the mind. Try to remove it and bring it back in the class. Now you're in the class. It has again gone. Bring it back to the class. So what will happen? Abhyas. You are practicing. So what will happen? Persistently, if you keep on making an effort and change an old habit and develop into a new one. Practice is very important. That's the word for sadhaks, Practice is the key that will open the door and we can become master of our mind, not the slave of our mind. Like, for example, take a simple activity. I'm typing on my computer, right? When I first started to type, I was able to type just like, say, one word a minute in a minute. But after practicing for 1 year, one whole year of typing, fingers are flying on the keyboard at the speed of like 80 words a minute. How did I get it? Did I get it in one? No, I had to practice it. So the proficiency happened only because of my practice. Same way, mind is obstinate, turbulent, running around here and there. It has to made to rest. Where will the mind rest? On the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, Krishna. Through practice, abhyas. The mind, take the mind away from the world. That is detachment. Because right now your mind has gone to the office, say no, nothing doing. I'm in the class, bring it back. The mind is going away into the food, say nothing doing. I'm in the class, I have to listen to this first, then first Krishna, then food. What are you doing? You are bringing the mind towards God. So that is abhyas, right? Krishna says that one who can subdue the senses by giving up like all desires, you focus your mind alone on God. Think of him with unwavering mind. Let your mind does not wander here and there, and see everyone with equal vision. Now this creates another doubt in Arjuna's mind, where he is unable to control the mind. Now he is questioning Sri Krishna in this regard. Arjuna uvacha ayate shraddhayopetaha yoga chalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim tam gatim Krishna gacchati.
Arjuna asks, what is the destination of someone who fails in achieving success in yoga?
Now Arjuna is getting a doubt. What will happen, Krishna, of an unsuccessful yogi? Where will he go? If these aspirants, they put in necessary effort, these aspirants are unable to complete the journey in this life. Now Arjuna is asking what will happen to their destiny, what will happen to their fate. Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam srimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bhijayate.
After many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्.
He takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily, such a birth is rare in this world.
Krishna says, oh Arjuna, one who falls from the yoga, he is falling because of the desire of the bhog. He is after something. So if person who try to do some devotional service, not 100%, but he's trying to do devotional service, Krishna says he will not lose anything. But after death, he will go to some heavenly planets, enjoy there for some time, and again he has to come back to the earth, and he will be born into some kind of spiritual or some pious family, where he will have a chance to move further in their devotion to Krishna. Like now you must have done your PhD. But after death, once you come back into this world, you have to start from ABCD again. But now that you're listening to Bhagavad Gita and you're doing all this, and you will be chanting and you will be completely in devotional service, and after you die, suppose you have not done 100%, you will start from where you stopped, not from ABCD again. That is the difference of material education and spiritual education. So if you have falls from the advanced position, you will take birth in a spiritual family. And if you fall from a beginner's position, you will go to heaven, enjoy for some time, then take birth in a rich aristocratic family. So if you are in spiritual life, it's a win-win situation, right? We will either be taking birth in a spiritual family, or at least, come back and take birth in a rich aristocratic family and go to heaven also. At least spiritual life is something good. So like Narada Muni is the greatest yogi, right? We have to follow Narad Muni and follow his footsteps. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna and Vishnu. So then what will happen if we cannot do that? then this so-called meditation and this sitting posture, all this useless waste of time, Krishna says best is bhakti yogi. तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मेभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन.
A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi.
So Srila Prabhupada says when we talk of yoga, we refer to linking our consciousness to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Absolute Truth, right? That process, it is named very, very differently by various people, right? In terms of the methods they adopt. So when the linking process is in fruitive activities, I want this God, I want to do this. You are linking to God, but to get something. Then fruitive activities, then it's karma yoga. When it is like predominantly like practical, you are getting the knowledge. I want to understand all this. That is jnana yoga. When you are trying to have a devotional relationship with God, you don't want anything from God, just want to love Him, complete love. That's bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says in his purport that that's the ultimate perfection of all yogas. So even the Lord has confirmed herein the superiority of all of yoga, right? But he has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga or anything. Bhakti yoga is what? It is full spiritual knowledge, and nothing can excel it because you're having everything in it, and you love God and you don't want anything, right? Fruitive work without Krishna consciousness, it's waste of time. So the highly praised yoga performance is Bhakti Yoga, and Krishna will explain why, He will tell why. Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktatamo matah.
And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion.
Krishna has given his opinion. He says, Madgatenantaratmana. Atmana, you put he abides in me, he thinks of me within himself. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam. He says, who renders his service, his Shraddhavan, with lot of Shraddha, faith. Bhajate mam, he renders his devotional service towards me. Even among yogis, there are karma yogis, bhakti yogis, jnana yogis, ashtanga yogis, right? This 6.47 shloka, it is putting to rest everything about, there is no debate as to which form of yoga is the highest. He has very clearly, he has told. Now Lord Krishna has declared here, Bhakti Yogi is the highest, superior to even best Ashtanga Yogi. You may do best Ashtanga Yoga, but he has very clearly in this shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna himself is telling, right? So like, for example, when we speak of highest mountains, we remember Himalayas. Or highest peak in the Himalayas, we say Mount Everest is considered to be culmination. Similarly, all the yogas are Himalayas. Everything is Himalaya. And the Mount Everest is Bhakti Yoga. That's the culmination point, like that of Mount Everest. Same way, Bhakti, devotion, it's the highest power of God. Nothing beats loving God, right? It is such a power that binds God and makes him devotee slave. If we do devotional service with complete faith, sometimes you see when you talk to God, you are very earnestly asking him something. It happens. And you say, what? Oh my God, what a miracle. It's God becomes your slave if you become his complete, with pure love. You become his devotee. Then he becomes our slave. See all the yogas, karma yoga, that is yoga rurukshu stage, that's the first. Then jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga is the culmination point. Yoga rudha stage, that's the highest in the hierarchy. Okay. Even Prahlad Maharaj, Narsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj, what do you want? So he said here in this all yogas, when he was doing he was on yoga rudha stage, this topmost stage. So Lord Narsimdev, when he asked, my dear Prahlad, whatever you want, I will give you. He said, um, my dear master, I am not a mercantile. I'm not a business person. I'm not here to do any business with you, right? I have done this devotion, so I want this remuneration. I want this from you. No, no, nothing like that. This is pure devotion, he said. That is why Bhakti Yoga. Why is it topmost yoga? Because it gives us the maximum results, minimum effort. You just do devotional service to God. That's it. You don't have to be any qualified for this. Completely sin-free. Krishna will take all the control, right? So it's really easy for us. So you can see in Satyuga, they used to meditate on Lord Vishnu, and 1 lakh years they used to live. So they had time for meditation. They could go to Himalayas, Now it's not possible. If I sit over here, I close my eyes, do meditation, mind goes elsewhere. Did I put the pressure cooker on the gas stove, or will my class start right now? Will it end now? When will my class start? All this will go. It's difficult. I don't say impossible, but difficult. With practice, it may come, right? Even in Bhagavatam, in 10th canto, it says that, Manda Sumanda Mateo, means in this Kali, iron age, in the Kali, men will be very quarrelsome, very lazy, very misguided, very unlucky, and they will always be disturbed, never uneasy all the time. So it's very difficult, right? So that is why it is difficult to meditate. Then Treta Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, nobody lives more than 100 plus years, right? Average, you can say like 70, 80. So in Treta Yuga, what happened? They used to perform expensive sacrifices, right? It's not possible now. We don't have those pure materials now and pure brahmanas to chant mantras. Dwapar Yuga, they used to do temple worship. We can still go to temple, but if this kind of COVID and all comes, right now it's not there. Temples have opened up. We can go and visit. It's very difficult. People don't want to budge out of their houses only now. So what is best for Kali Yuga? What is the mantra for Kali Yuga? It is chant the holy name of the Lord. So nothing should be done for us. Everything should be done in the service of Lord Krishna. Then it will help us to get away from the reaction of work, and gradually it will elevate us towards the loving service of God. So we must always chant the name of Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All of you say, even if you want to be muted, doesn't matter. You should say again and again. Your mind must have gone elsewhere. Bring it back over here. Now, if you want to go to that Bhakti Marg, there are two things. You have to go to, say, 35th floor. What is easier to take, lift or a staircase? Anyone can tell me. What is easy if you want to go to? Lift is, of course, easy, right? So lift is the Bhakti Marg. It is Bhakti Marg. How, you may ask? Just chant Hare Krishna, hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, sing Kirtans, dance to the melodies of Sankirtans. If you are hungry, you are tired, go eat some Krishna Prasadam, take rest, talk about Krishna to others. So it's very easy. That's the lift you are taking. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. He says, Krishna says in chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, thoughts of my pure devotees always are dwelling in me only, and their lives are completely devoted in my service, and they get a lot of satisfaction, they get a lot of happiness, they get a lot of bliss talking about me, discussing about me. So that is how, that is lift, right? Just take Krishna's name and we can go to Goloka board. That's it, Goloka Vrindavan. So with various kind of yoga poses, Shirshasana, this asana, it's very difficult, right? And will you go to the top? No, you won't be able to, because you need a lot of practice. You don't have that much time. You live for 70, 80 years. Sometimes we die very early also. No time for us. And we have to use all our 8 limbs. We have to, we go till Samadhi. God knows, by the time we go to reach that stage of Samadhi, body will become a Samadhi for us, right? The soul will, it means the soul will leave our body and go. So stairs means so many steps. First you will say yama, then you go to next step, niyama, then asana, then the pratyahara, dharana, all this. By the time you reach and take all the steps, you can take the stairs. Nobody is saying you cannot. You are powerful, take the stairs and go. But not everybody can do that. That's what. So what is mantra? Man means mind and tra means to deliver. So it is what delivers to the mind. Our Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it delivers very well to the mind. So keep chanting Hare Krishna. That is the japa, right? So when we chant, we are one-minded and we must hear the sound when Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you're chanting, whatever you're saying from here, you should be able to hear. That is japa, right? So that is how Srila Prabhupada had told us. He is a great guru. He had that purifying effect. You know, the moment he would look at you, that would happen. Then Sankirtan. Sankirtan is like singing with mridanga and all that, you know. Japa is done on the beats. Sankirtan, somebody asked me what is the difference. So Sankirtan is normally done with kartals and mridanga and collective chanting, right? Japa is done alone. Sankirtan is done in a group kind of. And Sankirtan, Japa is done at our own pace, right? Sankirtan is sung. It is singing. So here, what is said, please read, Pranjal. Whatever result.
Whatever result was obtained in Sati Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
See, it is written. Where is it written? Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.52 for your reference. Srila Prabhupada never talks without any references. So it's written in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krite yadhya yato vishnum tretayam yajato makhaihi dwapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. So in kalau, Kali Yuga, tadhari kirtanat, you have to do kirtan, you have to chant. So we have to chant. It's very clearly written in Bhagavatam. The scriptural references are being given for chanting the holy names of the God. In Narayan Samhita, it is written over there. Please read. Pranjal.
In the Dwapar Yuga, people should worship Lord Vishnu only by the regulative principles of the Narada Pancharatha and other such authorized books. In the age of Kali, however, people should simply chant the holy names of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Hare Krishna mantra is specifically mentioned in many Upanishads, such as the Kali Santarana Upanishad, where it is said.
So you can see in Narayan Samhita, it is written that you have to chant the names. Now, Kali Santarana Upanishad, it is also said, after searching through all Vedic literatures, can't find religion more sublime to the ears than chanting of Hare Krishna. Then you can see, even Bhagavad Gita 10.25, Yagyanam Japa Yagyosmi, of all the sacrifices, I am the chanting. In Bhagavad Gita also it is written over there. Then again, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Gate, Anyatha.
For spiritual progress in the age of Kali, there is no alternative. There is no alternative. There is no alternative to the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord.
See, this is the prescription we need to take in, right? And do Maha Mantra with one-mindedness. Again, you see more scriptural references in the age of Kali. Please read.
In the age of Kali, there are many faults, for people are subjected to many miserable conditions. Yet in this age, there is one great benediction. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can be freed from all material contamination and thus be elevated to the spiritual world.
Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, you can see that. Then you please read this also from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita.
My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned soul by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment from chanting.
So you have to do with purity of mind. The moment you do with purity of mind, you will get over there. You will start having that attachment for the for chanting. What is it that we should not do? What are the don'ts of chanting? Please read.
One should not chant only a portion of the Maha Mantra.
It's not Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and stop over there. There is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So don't do that.
One should not chant while reading a book or newspaper or watching TV, etc.
Okay, that I think it's very clear. So what are the do's of chanting? We have to see that.
Chant the Panch Tattva mantra before starting to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
So what is Panchatattva mantra? Please read.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्री वसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Then what are the do's for
Chanting,
chanting?
chanting audibly loud enough to hear the mantra.
So when you're saying, you have to at least be able to hear yourself. That is how you must do. You need not shout.
Pronounce each name distinctly.
Now don't say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. No. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So each name should be very distinctly heard.
Chant with respect, devotion, and concentration.
Concentration. So we need to have that respect for the chanting.
You can chant in any place, sitting or walking, facing any direction.
So you can chant any place. That's very good, right?
You can chant at any time. However, it is recommended to chant during the early morning hours, Brahma Muhurta.
If it is in Brahma Muhurat, it is recommended, but there is no hard and fast rule. You can chant anytime.
You can chant either before or after taking bath. It is recommended to chant by keeping count,
So it's
preferably
better
on
to
a
keep
tulsi
that count.
mala.
So what are the benefits of chanting? So the benefits of chanting are?
Freedom from the reactions of sin. Relief from unwanted drives and habits.
So if you are busy in chanting, so we are right now, we are slaves to our mind, right? We are completely slaves. Then the moment you are chanting, you become very strong. Your mind becomes strong. You are able to control it and you become the master then.
Freedom from anxiety and stress. Peace of mind. Real happiness. Enlightenment.
Now
What
let's
people
see
say
what
about
people have to say about chanting
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Just say.
It's really process of having realization of God. George Harrison.
Anybody else wants to read? Pranjal, ask them.
Yeah, Mataji. I think Bharni Prabhuji wants to read.
Maya,
And
Ravi.
Maya Mataji also.
If you are, otherwise Pranjal will continue.
Everything stated happening for me when I began chanting Hare Krishna. Jean Khaled, youngest director of 3 million
3M. Yes,
chanting
please.
Hare Krishna has made a tremendous impact in my life. Albert Ford, owner of Ford Motors.
These are the testimonies from various people who have chanted Hare Krishna.
I've been chanting Hare Krishna for many years and I have never found anything more pleasurable. N.D. Desai, leading Indian industrialist. Chanting Hare Krishna has helped me face all the ups and downs in my life with a great confidence and peace of mind. Rishikesh Mafatlal Fabrics, CEO. By starting to chant Hare Krishna, I feel tremendous happiness. Vicky Overturn, leading European model. Chanting helped me give up and bad habits. It changed my vision of things. And Schoffers, Dutch model. My outlook towards life is lot more brighter after starting to associate with Hare Krishna devotees and chanting the Maha Mantra. Bruce Klinberg, Army officer. Mahamantra significantly reduces stress, depression, and the mode of ignorance and considerably increases mode of goodness. David Wolf, Master of Social Service Program at Florida State University, researchers for studying the effects of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When I am stressed out, I chant. It's one thing which charges my batteries. It clears my mind and brings me back in focus. Paul Blair, printing executive. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, please. Anybody else? Pranjal?
Yes, Mataji. I'll continue. When I'm nervous, I find chanting very calming. I don't get shaken up at little things. Chanting Hare Krishna and reading authorized books on Krishna consciousness has brought me great peace.
So this is what people have told about Hare Krishna mantra. With this, we come to chapter 6. So what did we learn? Mind, the nature of mind. The mind can be our friend and it can be our enemy. So there is yoga. We have to yoga redefined. Yoga is not an exercise. There is a yoga ladder we have to follow. So that is what is there. Then we have Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga needs mental requirements, that is steadiness of the mind, and it needs physical requirements where you have to sit. You have all this yama, niyama, asana, dharana, all, everything is there, pratyahara. So all this you should be able to do. But Arjuna says, I'm sorry, but I can't do. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balvadronam. He says, I'm sorry, but my mind is very chanchal. I can't do Krishna. Then he says, what about those people who are doing it, but they're not successful? What will happen to them? So Krishna says, don't worry. From wherever they are, they will continue from there. If you are in a very advanced position, you will take birth in a spiritual family. From where on you will take, and next time you can go to heavenly abodes or Goloka Vrindavan. And for example, if you are not, if you are little bit advanced, not very much advanced, then you will go to heaven. You will enjoy your pious merits, and then you will come back and take birth in a rich and aristocratic family. Then next one is, who is the topmost yogi, who is practicing bhakti yoga. Why? Because you get maximum results, minimum effort, no qualification, simply sin free, and Krishna takes control. He is your friend then, because you are leaving everything on him, right? That is why. So he is the topmost yogi. Bhakti yogi is the topmost yogi, says Krishna. So let's take a small step every day and keep chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama